is over.
Welcome to Big Small Talk with Lynda Law.
Hello, Richard, and welcome to Big Small Talk. Thank you for making the time to be here today. Now, we all know and love the music of the RAH Band, and some of us grew up listening to your music. So we all thank you for that. But at some point in time, you must have got the idea to take that leap into the music world. So what first got you into music?
Music started for me quite late in life. When I was about 16, I was a cadet in the Merchant Navy, and the previous guy from my cabin left his guitar behind. So I thought, oh well, I've got lots of time on this trip. I'll go and get a book, How to Play Guitar, which I did, and off we went across the world. I think we were going to New Zealand at the time, about a 4-month trip. So I tuned in on my shortwave radio to Voice of America and got into jazz, and I taught myself on that trip the basics of how to play jazz guitar.
I see.
And so off we went in music, and I decided I didn't want to be a captain of a ship, and I would rather be a musician, because I really was into jazz, a real jazz head.
What a left-behind guitar can do and mean to the world. Richard, did you stay in the Merchant Navy, or was the desire to make music pulling you away from that career?
The first instrument I learned to play, as I said, was the guitar. And then I came ashore, as they called it, swallowed the anchor, they used to say in the Merchant Navy. Swallowed the anchor, came ashore, and took a day job and did a lot of clubbing around London, playing in jazz clubs and pubs and whatnot. And I got better and better. Then I wanted to broaden my horizons, so then in those days you could get a grant to go to college very easily, and I did just that. Went to the Guildhall School of Music and did a 6-year course, because having a grant, you could stretch it out a bit, and learnt about composition and orchestration and the trumpet. I played the trumpet for a while, and the piano, of course.
Wow.
And so that, was the beginning, very primitive, but very beginning of my musical career.
Right, so you studied music and you played in jazz clubs. How did you get your first break into show business?
I got the break which probably opened doors for me, and the biggest break at the time, when Paul McCartney, who was looking for an arranger to make a record with a girl called Mary Hopkin that he had discovered, an unknown Welsh singer, and he needed somebody to do the orchestration. Now, I had a friend, Peter Asher, whose sister was going out with Paul McCartney.
Seriously?
And so Peter suggested me for the arrangement for this singer, Mary Hopkin, with Paul McCartney producing. And he didn't want to have a standard run-of-the-mill kind of arranger that were around at the time, so he asked me to do it. And I did, and at first they didn't like the arrangement at all. It's quite funny, actually. But then they listened again to the same arrangement without changing anything at EMI Abbey Road Studios, and they went, oh my goodness, it's bloody brilliant.
That's nice.
So it was released, and then opened a lot of doors for me, because it went to #1 all over the world. And I got to meet and work with a lot of very big artists, a lot from America too.
I guess being interested in jazz music, you must have had some idols. Who inspired you the most?
I guess who was the most influential to me, I actually got to work with Herbie Hancock. My goodness me, and that was an eye-opener too. That was my jazz hero, one of my jazz heroes, and that was amazing. And Diana Ross, Carly Simon. Mind you, not all of the guys and girls that I got to work with I actually directly met, because quite often they just send a tape over of the vocal, and I'd do the arrangement around that and send it back.
Has there ever been an artist you'd have loved to work with, but never could or did?
Well, 2 people who are no longer with us. I would have loved to do something with Frank Sinatra, my goodness. Or Tony Bennett, now long gone, I'm afraid.
I'm sure those singers would have loved to work with you. So Richard, let's play a song of your own RAH Band now. We will come back to the song later in the show, but here's Messages from the Stars.
fading into blue, and there's nothing I can do. Then out of the sky, like a flash, sending me high, high, high. You rescue me, you save me from a certain tragedy. For a light, there's darkness all around, and you're nowhere to be found. When out of the sky, like a flash, sending me high, high, high. You rescue me, you save me from a certain tragedy.
Welcome back to Big Small Talk with Richard Hewson, founder and artistic brain of the RAH Band, and so much more. Arranger, producer, musician, you name it. So Richard, you were first discovered as an arranger, but how did you get your first record deal as an artist?
The first record deal was with me as an artist was when I decided that I was doing arrangements for lots of people who were making lots of money. And in those days, arrangers, I think it's true to say this today, arrangers don't get royalties. So I was getting fees, not very big fees in those days. And so I decided I would make my own records and that way become a producer and you get royalties. So I hired a little 8-track recording machine, took it up to my bedroom and became one of the first bedroom bands. And using only the instruments that I had learnt to play, which would have been the piano, guitar, bass and the trumpet a bit, I put together a tune, my first tune as a producer.
Why RAH? Where did the name of the RAH Band come from?
Then I had to think, well, what do I do with this tune? I'll have to think of a name for the project. And somebody said, what are your initials? And I said, RAH. Why? He said, great name. Why don't you call it the RAH Band? Yeah, so it was born. The RAH Band was born with the first track called The Crunch, because it had a crunchy sort of bass sound. Now, after that, of course, I had to think about getting it released, and I hawked it around for a bit, and nobody was really interested, but then they picked it up in the clubs. Now, it took a long time to get to the mainstream, but the clubs picked it up, and it was about 6 months after that it crossed over into the national charts and got to number 6. Amazing for my first effort as a producer.
Was the style of music you made with the RAH Band initially the music that you wanted to make?
Now, the kind of music that I made on that first tune was basically rooted in jazz, which was my first love. And it was my version, I suppose, of jazz made pop, if you like. I know it sounds a bit funny, but it was all my tunes ever since have always actually had their deep roots in the jazz, because I was a jazz head, basically, having learnt from the beginning, hearing great jazz artists play. That was really my first love.
So you kept making music in a jazz style.
I followed on with an album called RAH, which was basically, again, jazz influenced, with a great sax player called Ray Worley and a brilliant drummer called Barry D'Souza. Now, we put that album out, and that really sort of launched the RAH Band into clubland, because a track called Falcon was picked up and did very well in the clubs, and it launched the RAH Band as a Brit funk type band. But then, following that album, I decided to try vocals, and so my then wife, who was a brilliant musician herself, I enticed her to come and sing on the first tune I wrote with words, amazingly, called Perfume Garden. Now, she just read the notes and sang them in a very simple way, which was very effective for that particular track, and launched the RAH Band as a vocal-led band, and so it is today, although we've had many guest singers since that time, and still do.
Well, I promised we'd come back to your hit Messages from the Stars that we played a short while ago. Am I right that there's something special going on about that song right now?
Talking of which, tracks recorded back then, one particular one, Messages from the Stars, has been re-released 42 years after it was written. And actually, it was picked up in America and did very well all over the country. And it is quite amazing that it's on TikTok and Spotify and all those, with millions and millions of views. And is now being re-released on vinyl, as is the Mystery album, a 40th anniversary of the Mystery album, which will be coming out very shortly.
We'll be looking forward to that, Richard. And of course, we're going to play Clouds Across the Moon from that wonderful Mystery album. Of course, the RAH Band can be found on all major social media platforms. But first, tell us, where can people see the RAH Band live this year?
And very exciting, this May we are doing 2 live shows. 9th of May, Band on the Wall in Manchester, and the 23rd of May we're doing the Metronome in London. So we're looking forward to seeing you all there. So, RAH lives.
Thank you so much for taking your time to speak to me today, Richard. And good luck with the performances in May. And congratulations on the RAH Band's anniversary. Bye-bye, Richard.
Bye for now.
This was Big Small Talk with Lynda Law, who will be on the celebrity seat next time. Follow Lynda on social media or the website lyndalaw.eu. That's Lynda with a Y.
Good evening. This is the intergalactic operator. Can I help you?
Yes, I'm trying to reach Flight Commander P.R. Johnson on Mars Flight 247.
Very well. Hold on, please. You're through.
Thank you, operator. Hi, darling. How you doing? Hey, baby. Were you sleeping? Oh, I'm sorry, but I've been really missing you. Hi, darling. How's the weather? Say, baby, is that cold better now? Oh, I'm sorry. Is there someone there with you? Oh, since you went away, there's nothing going right. I just can't sleep alone at night. I'm not ashamed to say I badly need a friend, or it's the end. Now when I look at the clouds across the moon, here in the night I just hope and pray that soon, oh baby, you'll hurry
violent storm